throughout the entire Southeast. Brackish Solution buys back hemp crops and offers post-harvest CBD extraction and formulation services. And I've known Jason for 3-4 years going on. I know he's extremely involved with all these organizations and has his foot pointed in the right direction of getting some of this more industrial side of hemp farming here established here in South Carolina. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Jason Eargle. And Jason, reel in.
Can you guys hear me out there?
Yes.
All right. I'll tell you, it feels good to be back home. My journey to in agriculture and the industrial hemp industry into this very stage right here all started in Orangeburg County 35 years ago. My father moved our family from Clemson, South Carolina to Orangeburg County. He was the director of the Clemson Extension with 9 counties surrounding this county here, including Calhoun, Clarendon. So, I'm here to talk about what I've been up to for the last 3 years. We've had some folks from the Department of Agriculture talk about regulations. We've had some folks from SC State talk about different things you look for in your soil and your water. I'm gonna take it a step back a little bit and talk about why we're here, what we did last year in 2018, and what we're planning to do in 2019. So why we're here is all the news articles you've been reading, all of the television episodes that you've been seeing in regards to the powerful cannabis sativa plant. Industrial hemp, as you can see, I have this slideshow, by the way, that I can give out to anybody. I know that there's a glare, you may not be able to see everything, but the modern uses of the industrial hemp plant are so numerous that you can do anything from feed yourself, clothe yourself, house yourself, keep yourself warm. As Lucas said, we're very excited about the fiber possibilities for the future. That market's not fully mature yet, so I think most people here are looking at the CBD potential crop right now, which will be growing this year as we did last year. I got into this industry in 2016. A little bit about myself. I'm a graduate of Clemson University. I got my master's degree in entrepreneurship and innovation, and the project I did underneath my master's was industrial hemp in South Carolina. This was in 2016 before you had a bill. When my pitch competition won the event for real money, Shark Tank style, I thought maybe this is not some crazy idea in my head. This might actually have some legs to it. So in 2016, we formed Brackish Solutions, which was a company that, because we didn't have a legal bill yet, we started working on advocacy, trying to push the legislation through the House and Senate in the State House. And when we first started testifying at hearings in 2016, we quickly realized that there's a lot of misinformation out there and that a full education initiative was going to be necessary. So the bill did not pass in 2016. My company and us, we all did a full-on educational push with Clemson University, South Carolina State, other research universities, Department of Agriculture, law enforcement, and the different legislators in our different regions. And I'm happy to say that a grassroots coalition, including Lucas and others in this room, successfully pushed that bill through. A year later, it passed the House 97-0, and it passed the Senate 35-1. So that speaks volumes to the open-mindedness of legislatures when you're talking about economic development. So economic development, let's talk about that. The reason we're all here is to increase our profit margins on our farms in South Carolina. I know if y'all can't see the slide, I'll talk through them. The 2018 Farm Bill, as you know, allowed industrial hemp cultivation and production to be legal nationwide. In 2016, we had almost 10,000 acres of hemp cultivated in the United States of America. In 2018, we had 80,000 acres of hemp cultivated in the United States of America. That's a 3-fold increase since 2017 and about 8 times what we did in 2016. The federal farm bill, because it's now federally legal, you heard a little bit about insurance earlier. You heard it's a premature market. The prices are kind of cost prohibitive right now, but the more and further we get along, the more we'll have access to these financial products, such as insurance, traditional investment, and banking. The 2018 Farm Bill also helped us with some of the top challenges we have as hemp cultivators. Finding a processor obviously was one that existed a year or so ago. We're obviously got a lot more processors in the room here and around the country. That's becoming less of a problem. Lack of banking services is getting better. Finding harvesting equipment, that is still an issue that we have to work through. There's more and more components to existing machinery, different header units that you can use that are coming online. So that's getting better. Pest and weed pressure and finding qualified labor is still an issue out there. My company can help you with that. Please go see us over in the booth over here a little bit later. So the economic development piece. We're here because the demand for industrial hemp is going through the roof. We've got two trends. We've got trend number one is what you probably hear most about in the news stories is CBD and derivative oil sales. Those are expected to increase to 22 billion in 2022 from about 317 million a year ago. That's an incredible market increase. The second trend is the commercialization of hemp for industrial uses. So we're talking about textiles. We used to have a very robust textile industry here in the state. It's gone overseas. We'd like to bring it back here in the state again through industrial hemp. You have biofuels. You have all the things I mentioned earlier in that first slide in regards to what we can do with industrial hemp. Those markets are not quite mature yet. We're trying to create those now and take advantage of those within the country and internationally. Worked on a couple projects trying to look at the Port of Charleston as a potential export for that. So let's get to demand trend number one, CBD products. I mentioned it's supposed to go to 22 billion by 2022. We've got our first FDA approved pharmaceutical related to CBD. It's called Epidiolex. That was fast-tracked into approval within 5 years, which is lightning speed when it comes to clinical trials with the FDA. We'll still always continue to have CBD and other cannabinoids legal and used outside of the pharmaceutical operation, but the fact that the FDA has now allowed CBD shows that there is real medicinal benefit to this plant. Demand trend number two is the industrial hemp commercialization for products. Anything from textiles to paper, plastics are the future as well, building remediation materials, those are all possible here with hemp in South Carolina. Because of the growing season that we have here, the climate and the soil, we have a distinct advantage against other states in the country due to that. The growing season in Oregon or Washington State or in Maine is not near what it is here. The soil and climate is not near what it is here. So if we do this right, we can compete on a world scale here in South Carolina. And I'm looking forward to doing that with all you guys in here. Y'all know about the BMW plant up in the upstate. They're currently putting hemp fiber inside of their door paneling. BMW has a new vehicle called the i3, and they were able to lower the weight of their vehicle by 2,700 pounds through using hemp in the all throughout the vehicle, not just the door paneling. So when you have companies that are sophisticated as BMW latching onto this, it shows you that it's a trend that's not going to go away. So we're here for industrial. We think that's the future. That's what's going to be sustainable long term. CBD is what we're doing now. When we had the original 20 permits and you had 20 acres each, that's a smaller scale grow that you can't really make the margins on that you need in any crop but CBD. So that's why CBD's been the focus for the last year. It'll probably be the focus this year, and that's okay. That's very good. I've had many anecdotal evidences from my family and friends and business associates that have used CBD successfully for different ailments. And you can come talk to me about it afterwards, and I can give you those testimonies. But for the future, once you guys are all here, you're going to want to start growing if you're not already this year. As the market gets more and more products into it, what happens? The price goes down, right? So over the next 2 or 3 years, as we see the price go down, we need to think about the future. CBD is not going away. It's never going to go away. It's going to be around. But I'd like to see everybody think about the future. And my company, Brackish Solutions, Kinetics, and City Roots, we're all looking towards that. While we're working on the CBD crop, we're doing research and development on how we can get fiber for the future. And we'd love to talk to you guys about that afterwards as well. So let's move on to CBD, which we're all growing this year, probably even next year predominantly. Hemp-derived CBD is a chemical, one of the cannabinoids in the cannabis sativa plant. There's over 100 cannabinoids in the plant. We only know a little bit about THC, CBD, and a little bit of CBG. More research is now going to continue because it's off the Controlled Substance Act of 1970. So we'll learn more about why this works in our body. You have cannabinoids in your body, just like you have opioid receptors. When you take an opioid and it makes your body feel better and prohibits pain, you have cannabinoid receptors in your body. So when you take CBD, the cannabinoids latch on to your cannabinoid receptors. So CBD and the other cannabinoids don't necessarily heal you, it helps your body regulate itself, such as sleep, digestion, appetite. So it helps your body get in equilibrium so they can heal itself. A little bit about our company, Brackish Solutions, I told you we're founded in 2016. Our partners have over 20 years of experience in South Carolina and Colorado in the cannabis industry. Like I said, I was born right here in Orangeburg County, or raised right here in Orangeburg County, born in Clemson. And all of my partners were born and raised in South Carolina. So we're trying to keep the investment, the profit margins, and all of the good news stories that were coming out of this industry right here in the state. We're diversified in hemp genetics. Go see my partner Eric back there. We've got transplants and seeds that are certified organic, certified South Carolina grown, and certified low THC that we can provide you guys with genetics for your grow. We also have a partner processing company that can do extraction, distillation, and retail sales for you. We do farm management and consulting throughout your grow. So we're able to provide a full seed to sale, or as we say, farm to pharmacy solution for all of your different operations that you have. We have 4 distinct business lines. Brackish Solutions is the farm management piece, along with consulting and sort of the holding company, if you will. We have Kinetics, which is cannabis genetics. So we have, like I said, certified South Carolina grown, organic, low THC seeds, transplants, and clones for your grow. We have Headwater, which is a partnership with a North Carolina company that does extraction, distillation, and full retail sales. We've got 3 brands out right now, Carolina Bluegrass, City Roots, and Soda City.